It's the Sound of Ideas from IdeaStream Public Media. I'm Jenny Hamill. Thanks so much for joining us today. According to the U.S. Census, nearly 45 million Americans live with disabilities. In Ohio, the breadth is significant, with 16% of Cuyahoga County residents and 13% of Stark County residents living with a disability. While people in this community share the same desires to work, recreate, and participate in daily activities as anyone else, they often face barriers that make even simple tasks like crossing a street, attending an event, or using a phone more difficult or even impossible. Since 1967, Ohio's Department of Developmental Disabilities has aimed to support residents by making transportation, housing, and medical care more accessible. In Cuyahoga and Stark counties, 2 residents are making history by becoming the first people with developmental disabilities to serve on their respective board of trustees. The move will soon be required statewide by all boards due to an amended law that'll go into effect in July. The hope is to ensure people from this community have more of a voice about how their needs are being met. Today, we're meeting the 2 new appointees from the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Sarah Steinley, who's born with cerebral palsy, and the new appointee from Stark County's board is Crystal Waters, who lives with spina bifida. Sarah, thanks so much for joining us in the studio.
Thanks for having me.
It's so great to see you. And Crystal, I want to thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you for having me also.
Of course. And joining Crystal by phone is her support administrator, Molly Mayer Montgomery. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Also with us in studio is Amber Gibbs, Superintendent and CEO of the Cuyahoga County Board. Amber, thanks for joining us in studio as well.
It's great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, great to have all of you. If you have any thoughts on disability services in Ohio or questions for our new board members, call 866-578-0903. You can email us at soi@ideastream.org. You can tweet us. We're at Sound of Ideas. Amber, we mentioned that a recent census shows that about 16% of Cuyahoga County residents live with a disability, but your organization suggests this number could be even higher. Tell us more about the population that relies on these services and the range of disabilities in the group.
Sure. So the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities, we serve about 15,000 people with developmental disabilities each year, and our goal is to help them live their fullest lives in the community. We know that people with developmental disabilities are a small portion of the disability population, which some estimates say could be as high as 30% of the entire population. So our goal is to really work with each person and plan for and fund services to help them live in the community, work in the community, and be able to access all areas that are of interest to them.
And how long has the board been functioning?
We are going to be celebrating our 60th anniversary in 2027. We were established by state law, but that was a result of the advocacy of parents and families of people with disabilities saying that they wanted more for their loved ones with developmental disabilities.
And do you feel there has been an evolution in that board and kind of in our recognition of the community just kind of more broadly?
Absolutely. So when the board was first established, we provided a lot of the services that were not available in the community.
Right.
Everything from schools to day programs for adults with disabilities. And now kids are going to typical schools in their communities. They're getting competitive employment jobs. And so our services have evolved to really continue to challenge the community to be aware of people with disabilities and make all services accessible and welcoming for everyone.
All right, Sarah and Crystal, I want to learn a little bit about you as people, about your background, and when living with a developmental disability, what kind of services do you receive that help make life easier and more accessible? Sarah, I'm going to start with you.
Okay, so I went to Wright State University, and that was something that was really big to me because when I was growing up, I went to Youth Challenge, which is a nonprofit organization that serves young people with physical disabilities, and we do that with the help of teen volunteers. And I saw those teen volunteers going to college, and I wanted that too. So that was kind of what started my, dream of going to college and my goal of going to college. And truthfully, I would not have been able to do that without the services at Cuyahoga DD. From when I was at college, they helped me, get up and go to bed every day. they helped me, make sure that I had those services and supports that Wright State did offer, but that, my support administrator was walking alongside me during those 5 years that I was there. And then now that I am employed, as of 2018, they have been providing transportation to me to and from work. They provided job coaches and like job services and accommodations that I needed at my first employment when I graduated. And then from there, I moved into my own apartment within the past 3 years. So they provided all the modifications in my apartment, as well as they fund my home health care services.
So how does that feel? How gratifying is you're a college graduate, you're employed, you have an apartment. That's a great deal of accomplishment.
Mm-hmm. It makes me feel really good, especially as someone with a disability. I feel like that these opportunities aren't often offered or often out there for people with disabilities. So I really had to search for them and really had to kind of not take no for an answer, to have my voice be at the table. So to be where I am today, I'm excited to be able to provide insights and provide supports and help individuals like me, have opportunities that I have been blessed with in my life.
Have you met others with cerebral palsy who kind of look at all the things that you've been able to accomplish and kind of the resources that you've gotten from Cuyahoga County DD and say to you, like, I want that?
Yeah, so actually in 2020, Youth Challenge actually realized that there was a whole population that they weren't missing, because they provided, sports and recreations with the help of teen volunteers,
right,
from ages 4 to 18, and kind of those services after that the door would close. So in 2020, we started an alumni program, and that's kind of where my kind of job started there. And from there, I've been able to really help individuals, I think, just by living my life and growing up with a lot of them as well. They've been able to see what I've done, and many of them have been able to ask me questions, and I've been able to help them not only through my job, but personally able to help them get to where they want to be and accomplish their goals as well.
That's wonderful. All right, Crystal, I want to learn more about you. So just a preface, you suffered a stroke in 2022 in addition to living with spina bifida. So how had all of that changed your life and your ability to kind of walk through life and have it become more accessible to you?
Yes, I have a very supportive family, so that they encourage me to go forward, and I let it affect my dreams, even if I have to do something different, because there's more than one way to do something.
Mm-hmm. And what are some of the resources that you find really helpful for you on the day-to-day to just experience things and participate?
Through my waiver service and through MDD, I have home health aides that will take me different places and also help me physically when I need help. So that allows me to keep my independence. And I also have therapists, physical therapy, occupational therapy, and also speech therapy. And they also help me keep my independence.
I'm wondering, Amber, how do you think the Cuyahoga Board of Developmental Disabilities and kind of broadly boards of developmental disabilities, I mean, it seems like the support is very intense. I mean, you've got an aide much of the day, maybe all day. So kind of how are you able to provide these kinds of resources to individuals?
Sure. So we begin with planning for each person and their unique needs. So some people might have a staff person support them most of the day. Others might really be able to live with technology pretty independently, and maybe they have someone come in just a couple of hours a week. Some people live with their families, and then we supplement the needs that they have that their families are helping with. And we're able to do that largely because our funding relies on a levy passed by the taxpayers in Cuyahoga County back in 2005. So that's the largest source of our revenue. And then we also rely on the Medicaid waiver program, which is a combination of funding of our local levy dollars and funding from the state and federal governments that allow us to pay for all of those services.
Let me ask Crystal. I wonder, is there certain aspects of all you've gotten to do so far that you're particularly proud of?
I'm really proud of everything, really. Oh, and I also moved back to my apartment, and so I'm able to live in an apartment, which meant a lot to me to be able to do that. And so I'm getting more independence that way.
Great. All right, Sarah, let's talk about your involvement with the board. What brought you to become a member, and what are you hoping to accomplish?
So kind of what brought me to be a member was I always have kind of felt like I'm one to never settle. I kind of look for, how can I support my community best at the certain time of where I am in life.
Yeah.
And I was serving on their leadership council from the beginning. And that was just something, an opportunity came up for, all individuals with a developmental disability to apply for this position, in Cuyahoga County. And I felt like it was something that I wanted to do. It was kind of like the next step and the next way that I could give back to my community in a way that I've never given back to them before.
And is it because you feel that representation is lacking?
I do. I feel like representation, is lacking around, tables not only at board levels, but also just, in employment opportunities. A lot of times, when there are issues, that arise for people with disabilities and conversations that are being had, a lot of times people with disabilities are not at those tables to provide feedback and, give their perspective and provide solutions to those issues. So I feel like that by having these opportunities, that this is just another way that people with disabilities can really be a voice for their community and make the world a better place for people with disabilities.
Let me ask you, Amber, how ultimately did you choose Sarah? Because I know there was, I'm sure, some great competition, but I know that the position was coveted in some respects. So how ultimately did you think that she was the right woman for the job?
Well, you've met her, so you can see exactly why we thought she would be a great addition to our board. We did have over 100 people submit applications for this position, and we did a series of interviews. We had an application process. But as we talked to Sarah, we recognized that she really brings a very unique perspective. Not only is she a person who has received board services, but she's actually worked as a provider of those services for others. And so she brings a very well-rounded approach and perspective. And her experience on our leadership council in terms of meeting with us, directors in our agency, and throughout the state legislators and leaders throughout the state. She really has shown this incredible ability to bring a thoughtful perspective, a very persuasive way of talking to people. And like she said earlier, she doesn't take no for an answer. I believe that Sarah is really going to be able to challenge us as an organization to continue to grow and offer innovative things for people with disabilities.
Great. Bonnie, a listener, wrote in and said, I'm encouraged to hear about the new board members in Cuyahoga and Stark. I am the mother of a 14-year-old son with a developmental disability. The Cuyahoga County BDD has been integral in his growth and development since he was an infant, beginning with in-home Help Me Grow therapists, as well as support from his local school teachers, speech therapy, communication, and behavior. Thanks so much, Bonnie, for writing in and sharing that perspective with us. And remember, you too can share your perspective or questions. Call 866-578-0903. You can email us at soi@ideastream.org. So, Crystal, last year you were a member of the Stark DD Self-Advocates Advisory Council. What were you able to accomplish during your time with that group?
Well, I accomplished many different things, like hearing the different stories of other people that have disabilities and their struggles. And I also got to meet several speakers of people with disabilities. And there are people that showed us that just because you have a disability, it doesn't mean that it doesn't have to hold you back. And you may have to do things differently, but it doesn't have to hold you back.
That's great. So I wonder, Sarah, I mean, different things are going to come up with the board and when you advocate for your community or just speak up for their needs. I mean, are there certain aspects to your experience having cerebral palsy, that you want to make sure that kind of the community at large knows about?
I think it goes back to just making sure that voices are heard and just making sure that there are more opportunities for individuals with developmental disabilities, not just cerebral palsy.
Sure.
I feel like a lot of times, when a group of people or employers or even just at community events, someone sees a person with a disability, I feel like, they're oftentimes might just be like, oh, that person has a disability, I'm not sure that they're capable, so let's just not even, have those conversations. And I feel like if we can start bringing awareness and we can start bringing education more to the community and more to employers and more to organizations, there'll be more opportunities for people with disabilities, not just in employment, but in housing, in their community, just, in their everyday lives. And I think it will help people with disabilities be able to grow and learn and work and play just like Cuyahoga DD does.
Do you even think, is it too extreme to use the word stigma when it comes to a developmental disability and how kind of society perceives what an individual with a developmental disability can or can't do? Or do you think it's just a misperception?
I think it's both. I always say that people don't know what they don't know. Mm-hmm. And I oftentimes feel like they're too scared to ask the questions, or they don't want to ask the wrong question. So they just don't ask any questions at all.
And Crystal, how would you add to that as far as letting our listeners and just the community at large know about, just how autonomous and able a person with a developmental disability is?
They're very capable of many things. And I would rather someone come and ask me how I got in a wheelchair or anything, I would rather them ask than stare. Because you can't get educated by staring.
That's a great point. I think a lot of people will take that in today. So, Amber, what do you think organizations, companies are doing right? Has there been growth when it comes to a recognition of this community and incorporating them into everyday life, into jobs, into education, and just opportunities?
Absolutely. Here in Cuyahoga County, we have partnered with so many organizations, businesses that employ people with disabilities, places like libraries and recreation centers, and cities throughout the county to become more accessible, more welcoming. But there's still so much work to be done. You know, having someone on your board or part of your organization with a disability not only is the right thing to do, there's a business case for this, right? So if you think about the fact that, again, almost 30% of our population has a disability, if you have someone speaking to the needs of that group, you're going to grow your client base, you're going to grow your businesses, you're going to be able to hire more people when there's such workforce issues in our community. And so people with disabilities can give you a unique perspective about how welcoming your place is, whether they can access it not only physically, but what's the signage like? How do they feel? And so our organization is here to help with that. We've been doing that for several years. We go out and do etiquette training, disability etiquette training. We talk about how to accommodate people in terms of customer service at different events. And so I think there's definitely an increase in the willingness, but I would challenge all of our listeners to say, how can you help your community become more welcoming and accessible for people of all abilities?
All right. And then lastly, Sarah, I just want to ask you, what advice would you give to others with developmental disabilities who kind of want to take on a leadership role or want to experience things more, but feel a little bit limited or kind of not fearful, but maybe overwhelmed by what choice to make?
I would say to start small. I would say, I didn't get here overnight. I took a lot of, volunteer opportunities or opportunities to lead me to where I am today. So whether it's something that you might not think that you're going to do for the rest of your life, still take it, because you never know who you're going to meet in those opportunities to get you to exactly where you want to be.
And I just want to end by saying that people with more information, I understand, can visit the website cuyahogaBDD.org for the Cuyahoga Developmental Disabilities Board, and I'm sure online to find out more information for the Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I want to thank Sarah Steinley, board member of the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities. I want to thank Crystal Waters, Ethics Counsel and board member of the Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and Amber Gibbs, Superintendent and CEO of the Cuyahoga County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and of course, Molly for hanging on the line and being a great support. Thank you all for the conversation and for what you're doing.
Thanks so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.